think it was sustainable, but that's why we put it out to consultation. I met with the Chief Minister yesterday, I actually met with the unions yesterday, I met with Joe Bazzano last night, and I hope they came out of those meetings with confidence that we want voluntary redundancy package. We do think what we're doing going forward would help us stabilise exactly what we need to do here in Gibraltar, and at the same time give us a degree of flexibilities. Now we'll wait and see, of course, how many people take up the option, and we will listen to the trade unions. But at the end of the day, surely we wouldn't put forward a proposal which is not sustainable. Why would we do that? So as the Ops Minister, I think they have to understand from me that's not exactly where we're coming from. But I do understand, look, as a trade unionist, they need to represent their members. A lot of their members will be taking a package.
You recently said that GDP was growing and that it may be possible to spend even more on defence, or you didn't rule that out, I think, is a more accurate way of summarising it. But the trend locally has been to spend less since 2011, certainly on employees. 44% less military personnel, 47% less UK civilian workers, and now a proposal of 15%, proposed reduction of 15% in locally employed civilians.
Yes. So, and workers, and I understand that. And what I actually said is that if GDP goes up, and I'm basing my income into defence based on 2% of GDP, if GDP rises, the amount of money I have to spend inside the armed forces is there. So, for instance, the last quarter we went up 0.4%, I think. And so you can see what I was saying in the debate in the House. But one of the other things I say is it's not always about size. It's not always about buildings and people. It's actually what you're delivering. And the modelling that we're trying to work on here is that we can deliver what we need to do with the new modelling base. Otherwise, we wouldn't be taking it forward. But at the same time, you've also seen lots more Royal Naval ships in port here in the last few months, especially since I've been in post, and that's a signal to the people of Gibraltar, because even if you say that we're spending less here, but those sailors are not spending less here, that's a commitment to Gibraltar, which we will continue to do. But the modelling is around the fact that can I deliver what I need to do here? Yes, we can, which is why we did it and put it forward. But I do respect the union's view. They're no different for their members that I used to do when I was a branch secretary all those years ago myself.
So you didn't feel that it was in any way hostile, the environment yesterday?
I've seen demonstrations in Gibraltar that were very hostile over the years, when I was not against me, fortunately, but just here when I was a visitor. But what I saw yesterday was people showing concern and expressing that concern. I know Joe was on that parade yesterday in that demonstration. I met him 2 hours later and had a very convivial discussion with him, and we've known each other for 30 years. He trusts me in a way that I think it's difficult for other people that don't know my commitment to the armed forces. Joe does, so does Fabian. And so I was able to talk to them in a way like a friend. And the other thing I said to him is, don't forget, you need to know who your friends are, and you very much have a friend as the minister, a friend of Gibraltar as the minister here.
For somebody, one of those workers or a member of Unite who's who are standing up for those workers, who are thinking that perhaps the loyalty that they have shown to the MOD over the years isn't necessarily being rewarded in this new model, what would your message be to them?
I would find that if they said that very surprising. It's a voluntary redundancy package which is very generous, particularly for those that have served us and helped us over the years. We'll need to find out how many of those people are going to take up that package, but all the indications early on is that it's going to be popular. So the loyalty to them is in the package, is what I would say to them. Thank them for what they've done, but actually we need to reconfigure, but the package is very generous. My personal view is that the package will be taken up by the vast majority of the numbers that we're looking at. I had people coming up to me yesterday telling me that they were going to take the package, which was refreshing from my point of view, because they'd seen what they thought was coming forward, and then they can get on with their life. They got some forward thinking for them as well.
As a trade unionist, I'm sure that you're alive to the fact that Unite claims that the deal has been presented very much as a done deal, rather than there being any meaningful consultation.
I don't think that's fair. I know that Unite has been around the table in negotiation with the HR at the MOD here in Gibraltar. I know that.
Meaningfully?
I think meaningfully. I had a meaningful conversation with them yesterday. They didn't raise that issue with me yesterday.
A 4-day visit?
Yes.
That's somewhat exceptional.
I think it is the first time, actually. I'm told, I can't think any defence minister has been here for 4 consecutive days. and very early in my tenure as well.
What do we read into that?
I love Gibraltar, is the first thing. And secondly, Gibraltar is massively important to us in a defence context. And I needed to be able to, one, have the confidence that when I was talking to the Prime Minister and the Secretary of State about what capabilities I needed and where we are, I needed to, for the military here, to have the confidence in me that I was willing to come, spend a lot of time with them, talk through what their concerns are as to how we supply what we need to supply as HMG. And to see parts of the rock that I actually hadn't seen before. So
very finally then, Gibraltar's strategic value, I mean, a lot has been said of it in the past. Does that continue?